Welcome to the Rent Success podcast, the only podcast entirely dedicated to helping you achieve rent-to-rent success. We talk about the ethical way to get you started in property without buying it. This is our place to inspire each other to believe bigger, to be bolder, and to be game changers for good. Property investors and sisters Stephanie and Nicky Taylor are your guides on this exciting ride. Let's start up the engines and get ready to fly. Hello. It's Stephanie here, and welcome to episode 21 of Ask the Angels, where we answer your rent-to-rent questions. If you have a question that you need to get answered, go to rent2rentsuccess.com/ask, ASK, and record your question there for me to answer. Today's question is a good one. It is from Andrea, and it's all about turnover. Here's Andrea's question. Can anyone advise on the estimated turnover in the first year of R2R? I know this will be different from person to person, but I have zero idea of what to expect in terms of turnover in the first year. I will appreciate it if you can share your experiences, please. Thank you. This is a good question, and it's one that may come up when you try to buy insurance for your business. So I'm going to start off with the basics because I know people do get confused about this. So what is turnover? Let's start there. Turnover is the total sales made by a business in a certain period of time. It's sometimes referred to as gross revenue or simply income. In a rent-to-rent HMO business, the turnover is usually the total of the rent received from the tenants, plus any other business income you may receive. For most rent-to-rent businesses, it'll just be your rent from the tenants. Other rent-to-rent businesses, you may sell other things such as room packs or, duvet sets or little other things you may sell, or you may have services that you offer to landlords that they pay for as well. But it's all the income you receive into your business. A big majority of that will be your rent received from your tenants. So now we've talked about what turnover is. Let's talk about how to estimate the turnover in your first year in your rent-to-rent business. What to do here is estimate how many properties you will secure in a year, then estimate the rental income from those properties in a year. So let's take it as an example. Say you want to base it on 2 5-bed HMOs with rents of £500 per room per month. I'm just going to keep the numbers really simple for this example. So each HMO will bring in 5 times £500 each month. That's £2,500 per month for each HMO. So for the 2 HMOs together, that's 2 times 2,500. So that's £5,000 a month. And for a year, it's a 5,000 times 12. So it's £60,000 a year that you'd forecast as your annual turnover for the first year, getting those 2 5-bed HMOs. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, I think I could get a lot more than 2 HMOs in my first year. And you could. But the thing to consider here is that the higher your turnover, the higher your insurance quote is likely to be. So start with a conservative turnover figure, and when you surpass it, you can inform your insurer and update your insurance then. It saves you overpaying before you have the properties. So in summary, your turnover is the total amount of income to your business. And for a rent-to-rent business, this mainly is the rental income from your tenants. And remember not to insure for too high a turnover before you have it. So thanks so much for asking the question, Andrea. If you're listening and you also have a question, go to rent2rentsuccess.com/ask, ASK, and record your question there for me to answer here. And if you'd like to find out more about the ethical way to make money from properties you don't own, get our free Rent Success Guide Masterclass. It's a booklet and a 90-minute video training showing all the befores and afters and giving you the full overview to how rent to rent works so you can see whether it's right for you. That's all for now. I will see you next time. Bye for now. Thank you so much for being with me here today. If you would like more, we've written the #1 best-selling book on rent to rent. You can find it at renttoRentSuccess.com/book. Reviewers on Amazon have described it as the best rent-to-rent HMO book and also as a definitive reference guide and inspirational. Take your next step today and buy the book. You can find it at rentsuccess.com/book. And I'll see you again next time. Until then, remember, believe bigger, be bolder, be a game changer.